Hello YouTube, hello Night Lords, Unseen Future here. Today I've got the Everdark Fissure in the Fog run that we did. This was our first attempt, and we was able to pull off the win on our first attempt, but we really had to clutch it. And as well, all you can see at the bottom there, you know, if you want to go to the boss fight, it's at 7:29. If you guys want to just skip past me talking, that is 100% okay if you just want to see the boss fight. So yeah, this is our first attempt, and the reason I didn't just do the boss fight is I wanted to actually show our route. We went ahead and planned ahead and chose the mountaintop shifting earth event, mainly because we wanted to get the, you know, like the frostbite resistance, because a lot of the bosses up there will drop you frostbite resistance. And I don't show it all, but I do show the route we use and the bosses we fight, so that you can see kind of the way we do the mountaintop. I think it's pretty efficient. We had plenty of time to do all the bosses, and we actually didn't 100% know how we were going to do it as we went in. We kind of knew our normal route, but we didn't know for sure how we were going to do it. So this is just how we did it. And it worked out really well. We ended up getting level 15. We got a lot of gold weapon drops. We got a lot of frostbite resistance. So that really helps in this boss fight. I would actually suggest anybody doing this boss fight, you know, if you do the normal Fissure in the Fog run and fight that dragon at the end, you don't even need to do mountaintop. You can beat that without it. As long as you dodge a lot of his breath attacks, you're fine. But with this one, because he has some AoEs that you're going to take frostbite damage no matter where you are on the map, you should probably just choose mountaintop to get that frostbite resistance. That's my opinion. I'm sure it possibly can be done without it, but trust me, you're going to struggle, especially if you're just doing this boss for the first time. So I suggest getting mountaintop. Our route's pretty good, and you can kill every boss up here using the route we took, as long as you start pretty much on day, you know, the start of day 2, you just pretty much, we come straight up here. We didn't really do anything else. We come straight to this area, and we just go through this whole area. We, you know, make sure to kill this dragon as well. You'll see that here in a moment, you know, a few minutes. We'll get the dragon. We kill all the giants. The one thing I skipped on is there's a small little ruins that was on our map at the top of the mountaintops on the left side. That was a couple of small enemies in the ruins, and we did that as well. But any enemies you kill up here will give you that chance for frostbite resistance, and it will definitely make a difference in the boss fight. Okay, on my relics, I used Knight of the Fathom, Knight of the Lord, and then the other relic you can kind of do what you want to on. I used a relic for Wilder that on standard attacks enhanced with fiery follow-ups when using the character skill great swords only. So it only works on great swords. But that Knight of the Lord allows you to swap your infinities by swapping your weapon. And I just put 3 great swords in my main hand and just was swapping back and forth between that. And anytime I needed the fiery follow-up, I would just use my grapple. And then Knight of the Fathom gives you increased maximum HP, which, as you can see, right then helped out. And it helps out in the boss fight as well, in the main boss fight. Because this Everdark Sovereign, he can do a lot of damage. He's definitely tougher than your, you know, other Fissure in the Fog, which, you know, so are all the other Everdark Sovereign bosses. But now that we're about the boss itself, this is one of the best Everdark Sovereign bosses that they've made so far, in my opinion. I mean, they've done this boss right. I can't say the same for the Augur boss. I'm going to make another video on that, probably comparing this boss to the Augur boss. So Fissure in the Fog versus Augur run. Because I think there's a big difference between the two. This one is really fun, where when you get to the Augur fight, it's just kind of... It's more like, how's this boss going to act? Is this boss going to... Are we going to be able to hit the targets? You know, there's a lot of targeting problems. There's a lot of hitbox problems, etc., etc. But back to this video. We also get Dancer of the Boreal Valley here. And that's one of the coolest fights, or cool little side fights that you can get, in my opinion, as well. But I think this boss is awesome. I had a really good time with it. We beat it the first try on duos, and we beat it our first try on trios, and we haven't done it since. So I'm probably gonna upload my trio auger fight and a trio, Fissure in the Fog fight, and compare the two. But having said that, I think that's about it. The final day's about to come. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And let me know what you guys think. As always, GG's, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.